always refer to the framework of this industry. And I want to be more specific on what that framework looks like, line item after line item, so you understand, so you can go and bring that to the table in your interviews, right? Because it's one thing to say this industry has the framework, the same framework that you would find in Fortune 500 companies, and then you move on and you just continue talking, right? But I want you to be able to say, this is what the framework actually looks like, line item after line item. Okay. Remember, one thing that I'm really falling in love with in what we're doing here is, and the way that I'm teaching is that I don't want you to ever be caught off guard when you say something and somebody says to you, well, can you actually give us the definition of what that looks like? And you're like, I don't want that to ever happen to you. When you say something, I always want you to be able to have the goods to back it up. Okay. So tonight, I'm going to get into the framework of what that actually means. What is the framework? When I say that Fortune 500 companies have a lot of similar characteristics, and the framework of network marketing is very credible, very professional, and very lucrative, I want you to write that down. I want you to get in the habit of saying the framework of this industry is very credible, it's very professional, and it's very lucrative. The trouble is 98% of them that are out there don't know how to communicate the industry and the brand. Why? Before I get to these line items, I want you to understand this. Why is it so important for you to be able to communicate the industry of network marketing? Have you thought about that? You've heard me say it, and some of you are saying it, but have you thought on your own, like, why is that? Have you questioned it? I want you to question everything that I teach you, because I want you to understand the definition of it so you will own it. You need to own it, you guys, okay? Listen, we are training elite financial education teachers. We are training an elite team in network marketing, and that is very clear. Nobody talks like you do. Nobody talks like we do. Nobody teaches like we do. So I want you to question when I say something, what is that? What is the definition of that? What do you mean by that, Rick? Let's dig a little deeper. I want you to dig a little deeper because I don't want any one of you getting caught off guard when you sit down with somebody who knows more than you do about business, that's actually doing it. I'm not talking about a professor or somebody who is the armchair quarterback, right? I'm talking about somebody who actually is walking it out, owns a business. And when you make a claim, I want you to be able to back it up, okay? Because when you can't back something up, you lose credibility, and I want your words to have strength. So the first thing is, why is it so important to communicate the industry of network marketing? And here's why. Because the world thinks it's a joke. They do not know what it is. It is not socially acceptable. And I want you to get in the habit of saying that, because when you say that, you find common ground with that person on the other side of the table that actually thinks that. You need to let them know that you're not a Kool-Aid drinker, that you actually see their point, and now you're educating them, right? Everything we do is education. You're educating them to a place where now you found the common ground, and now you're educating them out of that disabling belief. So the world thinks this is a B business, not as in the cash flow quadrant B business. They look at it like B business as in a B movie, a low budget movie. They think it's not real. What's wrong with them? Well, they got to sell retail products out of their garage, and that's hokey. We all agree. We don't do that. We don't teach that. That's not the way you build wealth. And I want you to get to a place where you start understanding certain key words and saying that, communicating that in your dialogue. So in communicating the industry, in a world where they think it's because it's not socially acceptable, and if they get involved, it's a decrease in status for them, right? If I buy this car, it's an increase, decrease. If I buy this home, increase, decrease. If I get involved in this business, increase, decrease. Get involved in network marketing, decrease, decrease, decrease. So you need to have a strong pushback explaining the industry and pointing out the 98% and how they're doing it wrong is something that should always be on your tongue. Okay? Showing that the framework of this industry is not like the hype that you're seeing everyone else communicate. Okay, I put some line items together for you to back that up. So the framework of this industry is very important, and why it's a lot like Fortune 500 companies, big companies, but it's actually better, and I'll point out what makes it better as well. So in Fortune 500 companies, when they look for employees, they look for good people. Okay? They look for good people and then they invest in them. Okay? You find good people in network marketing. In our organization, we're finding good people and we invest in them. What? We invest them in them through this business school, right? The free business school. That is worth millions alone, even if we didn't have network marketing. This education is worth millions because you can point it in any direction. There's no argument there. So you find good people and you invest in them. So how we find good people is because of our language, being able to communicate the industry, communicate the brand, talking about systems, quality of income versus quantity, talking about passive income and giving them the definition of what that is. They're hearing you communicate it in a language of business and financial literacy that is much higher than almost everybody else out there, even in business. Okay, because you got to spend $3,000 to $5,000 a weekend to learn this kind of stuff. You don't find this in school. So those that respond to that language end up being the good people that you want, quality people that either find what you're saying is fascinating and want to learn, or they already know portions of that and they're drawn to it. So you're getting a higher quality of person because they're actually really ready to qualify whether they want to build a business or not. In other words, you've left all the hype out, all the emotions out of it. So when you speak without that emotionalism and hype, you're going to get a person that doesn't have that, that's not making a decision based on emotionalism and hype. They're going to be drawn to the mechanics. Why? Because that's what you are speaking. You are communicating the language, the mechanics. So there's no emotion in it. So now they're going to make a qualified decision. Now I want you to get used to write this down, and I want you to get used to saying this. Our goal, your goal, is to build a distribution machine. That's what we have. We have a distribution machine. Okay, when you enroll one person and another person and you teach them to the same and you have 6 and then it goes to 24 and then it goes to 96 and those people are ordering that product and they are consuming that product and they are sharing that product and they are duplicating everything that you're teaching them, you are creating a duplication, you are creating a distribution machine. What are we doing? We're distributing products. We're penetrating the marketplace. So our goal for you here in Overcome Nation, my goal for you is for you to build an organization, and what that organization is becomes a distribution machine. That machine is working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you guys know this, some of you that are higher ranks, you're seeing, I get a text, I don't know, I want to say 100 or maybe even 1,000 times in a 24-hour period. This person just ordered this person just enrolled this person, your team is growing. You're seeing those texts. It just keeps going day and night. I have to shut my phone off when I go to bed because it just keeps dinging and dinging and dinging and dinging. So there are orders taking place, there are enrollments taking place. So what's happening is these products are being distributed. Every time somebody orders a product, it's being distributed, right? Not by us, by our fulfillment center called Viseo. Not by us, by our fulfillment center called Viseo. Okay? So in effect, as your business gets larger and larger, you have this machine of distribution. That is your goal. So you learn to tell people that because there's a different image in their mind. Learn to communicate that because it gives them an image of their mind. Oh, it's a machine that's actually distributing products across the country and around the world. And when people think about a machine, they think immediately system, right? It's a machine that's doing it for what? So you don't have to. They immediately get the fact that they don't have to do it. The machine is doing it. Can you see what I'm saying here? What we have is what we are creating is a distribution machine. Okay? Fortune 500 companies have a distribution machine. It just doesn't look like ours. And I'll talk to you about the benefits of it. Ours is better because it's debt-free. Okay? Fortune 500 companies are not debt-free. Some are. I would say Uber, right, is a debt-free company. I would say Amazon is not a debt-free, but their system is very streamlined, but it's not a debt-free company because they're buying products. They carry debt. They're buying and selling products, so there's always debt on the books. You don't have any debt on your books in network marketing. I don't have any debt on my books at all. Do you? If you really think about it, I mean, you spend $200 to $300 a month. And if your business is cash flowing, you're not just getting your product for free, you're actually getting paid to consume the product and share it. Can you see that? I want you to come to terms with that so you can communicate that as well. This is just a little post note here. Okay? I want you to understand that. When you first start, you're paying to enroll and you're consuming your product and you're sharing your product. And as your business builds, right, and it starts cash flowing and it becomes higher than your $200 to $300 a month LCP, you're in the black now, you're not in the red. So now you're not just getting your product for free, you're getting paid to consume the product and build the business, right? Can you see that? That doesn't happen in Fortune 500 companies, by the way. All right, what's the next thing that you see in Fortune 500 companies? Systems. I hope you guys are writing this down. Okay? Systems. Systems create wealth. You know that. Many of you are repeating that, which you should, and that is people can make money working in the 24-hour a day period, but systems create wealth. Okay? Get used to saying this. People that are employees are their own cash flowing assets. So as long as you are working, trading hours for dollars, then you're cash flowing. But as soon as you stop working, the income stops. So you are your own cash flowing asset, but that's not the type of cash flowing asset you want because you are still that system. You want to leverage a system like the richest people in the world do. Okay? So there are systems. Fortune 500 companies, big companies, companies that the CEO or the owner can be doing other things and it's growing without him or her. There are systems in place that are doing it so he doesn't have to continue or she doesn't have to continue to overlook everything. Okay? So systems create wealth, right? So they have systems. Mentorship. Now, when it comes to Fortune 500 companies, there's not really mentorship in there. What they'll do is they'll find good people, and then they'll hire companies to speak and teach them, and they'll send all their salespeople to those seminars or sales training. They'll invest in their people. Right? What are we doing? We're always investing in people. Why? Because you're mentoring somebody. You're pouring into them. You're teaching them what to do, what not to do, what will save them time. And then they have Overcome Nation that's doing it round the clock. The Overcome Nation Business School is available to everybody around the clock. There's over 300 videos here. Okay? So on all different topics, 300 different topics. So they can tap into and learn. So that's a system within a system of education. Okay? So mentorship is even, what we have here is even better than in Fortune 500 companies because it's real mentorship. Okay, in big companies, they want to teach you just enough for you to be able to maximize your position, but they aren't going to teach you the next level of stuff because if there's a person that's higher than you, they don't want to teach you so well that you can perform better than they can because you'll take their job. They don't want you to take their job. That's the corporate ladder. Okay? So that's why Kiyosaki says what he doesn't like about corporations is there's always somebody, in his words, there's always somebody's butt that's right in your face, right? And you can't go any higher than that unless they get fired. So everyone, according to that, that hierarchy is afraid that the people below them are going to take their job. So they're only going to teach you so much. They don't want to teach you all their trade secrets because they don't want to lose their job and have you take their position. So it's always holding you down. See, here's the thing. Listen to me now. This is a teaching moment. In this industry, if you want to have a lot of success, you want to teach your people so well that they no longer need you. Okay? I'm going to say that again. In Overcome Nation, our goal is to teach you so well, and you should want to teach your team so well that they no longer need you. If you still feel the need, this is real freedom, guys. This is advanced stuff I'm about to tell you. This is advanced. I know it sounds simple, but it's advanced because nobody wants to do it. Everybody wants to be the guy. Everybody wants to be the girl. Everybody wants to be the person that everybody needs. That is not the way of real freedom in your time, because if everybody needs you, you're never going to be able to take a month vacation. You're going to step into a big business concept with a small business owner mentality, and you're going to find yourself stuck like I was for many, many years. There's a reason why I teach the way I do, because I've learned life lessons in this industry. Okay? For the first 5 years in my network marketing career, I never wanted anyone to pass me up. I liked being the guy. Okay? What happened was I ended up being the guy. And that meant everybody needed me. And that meant I had no time. That meant I had to live on the road. And the money was great. However, and that was that vicious cycle that I got stuck in until I came to a place where I said, I'm going to teach everybody so well that they no longer need me. And that's where I started to have freedom in my time, right? Freedom in your time. Listen. In our industry, we're talking so much about wealth, money, and time, to have both money and time. And if you're not careful, if you find that tug on your heart, like you don't want to teach so well because you want to be that go-to person, if you're struggling with that, you won't have the time that you want. And here's the thing, you always get burned out. At some point, I need a week, right? I need a day. Right? You always come to a place where I need a rest. But then when you go and take that rest, your team starts slowing down, retention starts dropping, and people begin to quit. And what happened is you kept yourself a prisoner for all the wrong reasons. Teach your team so well that they no longer need you. That should be the part of the mission of every single person in our team. And you know why it's rewarding? Not just because it gives you time, it's selfless. You pour yourself out into your team, right? And the majority of them will never leave you. You have to believe that. If you have, that's my approach, and that is an abundance mentality. It's not a scarcity mentality, okay? If you're so afraid that somebody's going to pass you up, then you don't understand yet. You want people to pass you up because now they're not going to quit. Right? If they're higher ranked than you or they're making more money than you, they're not going to quit. Right? How many of you in your organizations right now, you're so afraid so-and-so is going to quit? Man, they're struggling. I'm afraid. No, I don't want anyone to struggle on my team. I want them all to make more money than me because I don't want them to quit. I want them to be able to be happy here. I want them to be able to provide a 7-figure income for their family. I want them to have high quality of life. I want them to be fulfilled. I want them to be educated, right? I want them to have joy. And if I hold anything back, there's a chance that they may not step into that, right? So trust me when I tell you, it's a lot more freeing to mentor people so well that they no longer need you, okay? When you look at Frank and Cindy, right? Frank and Cindy Sochnik. He enrolled me. Do you think he's concerned that I passed him up? No. He loves it. He loves that. Because he knows Rick Govin isn't going anywhere. Right? He knows my team isn't going anywhere. Okay? He understands check match. He understands that. He understands how that works very well. That's why he will say, you can keep all the other ways of pay, just give me check match. He believes that. Right? Where everybody else is working for left leg, right leg, and team commissions and all that. He's looking at check match. Now, check match is a much longer way to wealth. It takes a while to be able to really kill it with check match. Most people don't have the patience for that. So of course we got to work for team commissions and volume and all of that. But he's more excited about 2020 than he is 2019. How many people in this entire company could actually say that? Most people are just thinking for the now. They're not thinking. I'm even myself. I'm more excited because I know what's going to happen in 2020 and the type of people that are going to come over here, and they're all going to want to be on your team. Okay. So 2020 is I have more joy for 2020 than 2019, and even though 2019 we're ripping the cover off the ball. All right, enough on the mentorship. Cash flow and passive income, okay? Cash flow and passive income. So Fortune 500 companies, if you look at the learning pyramid that I drew out, where you can scale your business, and you see that the second to the very last most important thing in your organization or in a Fortune 500 company is cash flow. Because if your business is not cash flowing, then you won't be in business for too long. You have to get all of these things need to be in place in order for the business to cash flow. So the company, Fortune 500 companies, their agenda is cash flow. But guess what? It's not passive for the employees. They still work on a fixed income. Not fixed, but you know what I mean? They all have ceilings to what they can make. Okay? So ours beats them because what are you working for? You're working for passive income. Passive income is income that you generate without your active involvement. Always say that. Always assume that nobody knows that, because they don't. They seriously don't. They don't know what passive income. They're still calling it residual. Okay? Residual income would be different. Is what is the remainder of an investment. You get the residual of that, right? Passive income is income that you generate without your active involvement. So cash flow, okay? Duplication, a system of duplication. So if you look at a franchise, systems of duplication are very, very important. They're critical. Okay, what do we have in this industry? Duplication. And you don't see it amongst the 98%. The 98%, they don't really duplicate, right? I mean, many of us have been in other companies before. Why did we have to leave? Because there wasn't a real system of duplication, you know? I'll be honest with you, since I had the guts to start a business school and be very honest with everybody and honest with myself and ask myself the critical questions. Does that actually work, or should I find something, or should I put a better plan together? I had to ask those difficult questions. Is that still relevant? Do we still build that way? Should I just stay with those old ways? No, I had to tweak it, change it, make it my own. And so what I've experienced in the last over 2 years now, I think is bulletproof. And it's getting stronger and stronger. We truly are duplicating. And I don't see that in this industry. I see people building on influence, okay? I want you to remember something when I tell you this. You cannot build on influence, okay? I used to think that, and I used to say that, right? You're bringing in people of influence, right? I want you to think that through for a second and follow me now. Influence will help you have a strong start, but mechanics have nothing to do with influence, okay? And next time I'm going to show you on a diagram, I'll take you to the whiteboard and I'll show you what influence, look, the influence line is when you first get in and you're enrolling people, that influence line gets smaller and smaller and smaller, right? Because you're going through your warm market, but it's getting smaller and smaller because your people are signing up. But then there's another line here, which is called your residual line, which is your lifeline. And that's where the system has to pick up where influence begins to die off. You guys follow me now? Okay? All those that follow me, I want you to give me the hearts right now because I need for you to understand that. I'm going to say it again. When you first get involved in network marketing, some go fast, some go slow. Some people have a whole lot of influence when they get in. They already have a network. So what happens is because they already have a network, thank you guys, because they already have a network, you have this influencer line. Let's just say that when you first get in, you're used to making $3,000 a week because you're enrolling so many people. But that influencer line goes lower and lower and lower because everybody's signing up, right? Nobody's really duplicating in the beginning yet. So then there's another line here that has to meet it, It has to meet it. And that is your LCP line. That is your passive income line. Well, that doesn't happen very well until there's a system that will begin to pick up where influence begins to die off. Can you see that? Because you see some people that step into our organization that are moving faster than others because they have more influence, but you can't build a long-term business on influence. At some point, the system has to take over. Okay? So that system is your system of duplication, right? It's part of it anyways. So duplication is found in a Fortune 500 company. That would be a franchise. Okay, franchises survive because of duplication. Look at McDonald's. They have a very high percentage of success. What are we doing here in Overcome Nation? There's a very high percentage of success in Overcome Nation. Okay, how can I say that? Well, because it's a fact that Overcome Nation is producing the highest incomes amongst the people on my team than any other organization in North America. That is a fact. Okay, so our duplication is working. So there's a very high percentage when your people come to our organization. It's very important for you to point that out to them, right? I don't brag about my checks. Okay, I used to, for the first 5 years I was bragging about it because I didn't know any different. Now I brag about the incomes of my team, right? Because here it is. Listen to me. I'm always going to do, I always let you into a place where it's going to take you, if I don't tell you this, it's going to take you years to see it. In our industry, people will sell the highest earner's check. This guy's making $1 million a month. You need to get in right now. There's so much money here. Oh my gosh, can you imagine making $1 million a month? We're going to make the same thing. Not if there's not a system of duplication. That's not going to happen, right? Doesn't mean you're going to have that check. How many times in this industry somebody's pointing out their check? I don't want to sell you on my check. I want you to see what is available to you, right? What you can be making, right? But you have to determine in your heart to follow the system so you can make the same amount of money or even more. Okay? But that's the difference between the way I teach and the way other people teach. They just sell you on the highest person's check and that's it. Well, if the mechanics aren't there, you're never going to have that check, and his check or her check won't last because people quit on themselves. So retention drops and drops and drops, and then you're like, where'd they go? They moved, they went to another company to do the same doggone thing all over again. And then they get burned out and then they just quit network marketing altogether. They go back to work. Okay? We're not doing that here. All right. So I want people to understand that. So it's very important for you when you're talking about your organization and bringing people in, you need to make sure you tell them that our team is producing the highest checks, because they want to know that if they step in, is there a teaching program? Is there a business school where they can learn to have big checks too? Right away, when they hear that, they're thinking, okay, I could be one of those. I could be one of those highest earners in there. It's not what Rick is making, it's what his team is making. That's where you brag. That's where you win. I brag on the success of my team. I don't brag on the success of myself. Okay? Because sooner or later, as you guys get stronger and stronger, people are going to go, well, that's just Matt. He does that. Everything Matt touches, turns to gold, right? So they disqualify themselves, right? Oh, everything Melissa does, that just turns to gold, right? But that's me, right? That's Melissa. See, she always does that. No, you want them to be able to see that they can do that, okay? That's why I say brag on the success of the Overcome Nation team, right? Don't always point them in the direction of, yeah, you don't understand what Rick's making. That's irrelevant. I've been in the industry for 15 years. I should be making that money, right? So the point is Rick developing leaders that their checks are accelerating? I told you guys when I started here, right? The leaders, those that had high incomes when I started here, they left within the first 6 months because of entitlement and position. They're just a pain in the ass to work with, if I could say it like that. They were. I don't like working with entitled people. Do you like working with entitled people? I don't. Okay, because there's always something that they want or something that they're demanding. So they left because Rick doesn't play that game, right? I don't play that game, and so I treat everybody the same. Okay, And so when they were out, I was like, okay, I need to take every one of these people that never made more than $2,000 a month in a network marketing company, and today they're making $8,000 to $12,000 a week, and their people are getting to that place, and their people are getting to that place, and their people are getting to that place. That's a system where everybody is learning. That is an educational system where everybody is prospering. Okay? So that's what you want to point out. The success of our team, not one individual. Don't make it personality driven. Make it mentor driven. Make it business driven. The mentor is not Rick Gutman. Okay? This business school is the mentor. If it's personality driven, it won't work. And I realize that. Okay? So everything is set up in that system to teach everybody. The system, the mentor should always be the system, not a person. Okay? So when they see that, now they go, okay, I can do that too. Oh, that's how you learned? Okay, I'm going to learn too. What did you pay attention to? Okay, I'm going to do the same thing too, right? Now they're all saying, okay, I can learn. This is actually a school where people learn a skill set and become wealthy, right? And the longer period of time that Overcome Nation continues to grow, time is our friend here. We keep getting better and better. Can you imagine the reputation that Overcome Nation Business School is going to have in 2 more years from now or 3 years from now? Right? Can you see how easier it is going to be for you to be able to bring people in? Because now the name of Overcome Nation and the business school is going to be communicated so well. It's going to have a reputation of raising up leaders, multiple 6-figure earners, 7-figure earners. And so now people are going to go, I keep hearing about this Overcome Nation. Oh, you're on that team? Okay, how did it work? Oh, this is where you learn? Oh, steps 1 through, okay. All right, I want to be involved because nobody talks like you guys. Can you see that? It's going to be easier and easier and easier for you to bring people into Overcome Nation through the length of time.